Hello, welcome back. I wanted to do another quick video and just show you a couple cool things about these items I have here. So what I like to do in the shop here is work with handmade locks, so pre-industrial revolution stuff. I like to try to figure out some of the tooling and stuff that might have been used to make them, or come up with ways that I can try to reproduce what I'm seeing. But so not only just trying to rediscover and figure out those tools and techniques, but also studying originals to get an idea of how they were made, so you can see tool marks and stuff like that. And so these objects I have here have some really cool things on them that I want to show you in terms of markings. So I've got a really big 2-chamber padlock, I've got a rim lock, and I've got a Georgian wire bow key that would go to not this rim lock, but one like this. And so these are all English made things. And so what's really cool about these items, the way that I understand how these would have been done in like a production shop, is there were people making pieces. So say one guy might be making just keys, and sometimes the keys and what's called a bridge ward inside this rim lock would be made in an entirely different shop that a lock shop might order. Again, this is all my understanding. Most of this is stuff that I've kind of learned from other people. So trying to explain this stuff as best I can from what knowledge I've been able to gather. So people will be making pieces all day long. So for this lock, let's say, I'll show a close-up of some of this stuff, but this bolt here, let's just say someone all day long is banging out those bolts. Then the latch up here, another guy in the shop might be making those all day long. And then all the way down the line at the workbench, you have a putter togetherer that is putting all the pieces together. And so they just have a pile of pieces of, bolts, locks, cases, whatever, and they're just starting to try to fit them together as best as they can. And today we're used to everything being mass-produced, interchangeable pieces, because they're all precision machined or squirted out into dies and castings and stuff, so all the pieces are identical and interchangeable. But that's not how this stuff used to be made. These were all made to fit one specific lock. So all the pieces within this lock fit to this lock, whereas if I had another one, this bolt may not fit that one because they're fit to this one. So when you're left with a pile of pieces all over your desk and trying to fit them all, or your bench, and trying to fit them all together, and you're working on, say, 10 of these things, or however many you need to be making, you need to keep track of how which pieces go to which lock. And so they numbered a lot of these things. Not all of these have numbers, not all of them have numbers on all the same pieces, but all of these objects I have here are numbered, so I think it's kind of cool to show some of that stuff. So again, I got this rim lock here, and you've got the cover plate that comes off, and if you look on the bottom of it right here, it's got 3 little tick marks. If you take off the staple that holds both of the bolts in, and you take the main bolt off on the back side here, it's also got 3 little tick marks. I don't believe that the latch had any. I don't see them on here. So for whatever reason that doesn't. And then if you look in the case at the top here, it's also got those 3. So it's just really cool thing that you can find when you start taking some of these apart, and you can see little markings like that to help kind of some of the process and how they're working. There's some other cool markings you can find inside of some of these, like peen marks on the backside. So the front is filed all nice and smooth to get it clean, but if you look at the backside right here, there's a lot of peen marks. They probably needed to stretch this a little bit longer, so that's what they did. Again, you can kind of see some of that sort of stuff. Some of the other parts, I'm not seeing too many on this one. You can kind of see it down inside the case here. For that side rail of the case, they peened that to get that a little bit taller as well. But so that's that one. This key, so again, you want to know what key goes to which locks. If you have a, 5, 6, whatever, however many locks on your bench, you need to know which key goes to which one. So on the top of the bit here, I don't know if it's an X with a little tick mark or the tick with an X, but either way, on top of that, this key is marked so they know it goes with whatever lock that went with. And then again, pretty cool on this lock here. So on the front case of this lock, right here, there's 2 little tick marks. If you open up, unlock it, open the shackle, on the edge of the shackle right here, there's 2 more of those little ticks. And then on the key as well, there's 2 little ticks on the stem. So all these go to presumably lock number 2. Now I can't open this lock up, so I don't know if any of the pieces on the inside of this one have little tick marks. Presumably they may, but at least for the case, the shackle, and the key, they're all marked, so they know they go with this lock. And I noticed on this staple here too, it's got more peen marks to stretch the staple taller. So I have a couple of numbered pieces. It's kind of cool to know that part of the process. They're numbering the parts so they know what goes to what. But also when you take them apart and you can start seeing some of these peening marks to know they're stretching stuff longer. It's just more evidence of getting this piece to specifically fit this lock. So again, studying antiques is a really good way to get an idea of how these things were made, because not only do you see how many pieces there are, kind of where they're laid out, but also you get these little signs of how they were made. So what parts are filed bright and what parts are kind of left rough, that sort of stuff, but also knowing that this was stretched longer and it wasn't forged perfectly to this size, bent up, and it was pristine. They had to make it fit. So I hope you found this video a little interesting, kind of getting some of these marks. And yeah. Make sure to follow the channel here so you can see when I post another video. Thanks. Bye.